Gas Subcommittee meeting number 203, held today, the 15th of May, 2025. The members that are participating in today's meeting is myself, the chairperson of the Pipe Gas Subcommittee. My name is Nomfundo Maseti, and I am joined by the chairperson of the Energy Regulator, Mr. Tembani Pukula. Mr. Pukula, I would like you to greet so that they can recognize your voice when you speak. Okay.
He hasn't joined, sorry.
Mr. Dlamini, can you assist, please, so that we don't...
Yes, ma'am. You can proceed. You can proceed to the next member, ma'am, while I check on Mr. Pukula.
Okay. Thank you very much. Maybe there is some technical connection issue. We are also joined by Advocate Nomalanga Sithole, who is the CEO of NERSA, as well as the member of the Pipe Gas Subcommittee. Advocate Sithole.
Good morning, Chairperson and members and everyone who has joined us for this particular special meeting this morning. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. If you can also just, when you speak, Advocate Sithole, your voice is a bit low. We are also joined by the chairperson of Audit and Risk Committee, the member of the Energy Regulator, as well as the member of the Piped Gas Subcommittee, Madam Precious Sibiya.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone on the call from NERSA, and good morning to the members of the public joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Elias, are we good to go, or shall I go back and introduce Mr. Pukula?
Please proceed in the meantime.
All right. Thank you very much. We then move on to the adoption of the agenda. Members, we have a proposed agenda for adoption. Members are happy to adopt this agenda for today's meeting. By show of hands, members, if you are happy to approve this agenda. Thank you, Madam Sibiya. Thank you, Advocate Sithole. I also support. Thank you very much. We now move on to the declaration of interest. The forms have been uploaded, members, for you to complete and submit to Mr. Elias Dlamini. And if there is any verbal declaration, you may do so now, members, by show of hands. I will allow you to proceed with your verbal declaration. If none, then I am moving on to the substantive matters for consideration today. I'm on item number 5 of the agenda. The first matter that is going to be discussed is the revised submission on Sasol Gas's application for approval of maximum gas prices for the period 1 July 2025 to 30 June 2026. Please introduce the matter, be short, straight to the point, indicate why it is back here and what has changed, please.
Thank you, Chair. Morning, Chair. Morning to the members and staff. I will be taking the members through the submission. Chair, the purpose of the submission is to request the subcommittee to note the second discussion document on Sasol's maximum price application for the period 1st July to 30 June 2026. And also, Chair, to also approve its publication with the information withheld as per Annexure A. Also, Chair, with regards to the delegation matrix, the submission is before the committee as in terms of section 2.5 of the delegation matrix. Chair, just a bit of background. The submission or the Sasol's application was received 13th December. And they had subsequent to that, there was requests for information and the subsequent discussions with the applicant. And ultimately, it was published on the 20th of March, and the publication dates were from the 20th of March to the 21st of April. Then the public hearing was planned for the 24th of April, and which took place on the 24th of April. 2 days before the public hearing, new information was received from SASO. This was the 22nd of April, which led then for the subsequently what happened was SASO was requested to submit additional information, and given that their application was there were changes within the SASO's original application, especially the cost that especially with regards to the costs that it incurred in this acquisition, gas cost. And so this also led to changes as well within its profit component. The new information that was submitted by SASO led to NERSA requesting SASO to republish the consultation document and reopen the public comment process. So, Chair, what is before or subsequently then we had engagement with SASO regarding the information, and they submitted further information on the 7th of May, which has been included now in this the discussion document that is in front of us. And Chair, what is in terms of the key updates of the information? Initially there was a new gas source that was introduced, which was called the fuel gas, which we have requested contractual information and also the terms from a pricing perspective. Also, Chair, there were changes in the gas volume supply that were different from what was initially in the initial submission or in the initial application. Example, one of the changes there was that the PPA gas had declined relative to what was in the application. And from what we've received from SASO's application is that the decline is faster than expected, and then this is has required them to actually increase the alternative sources such as the PSA and the MRG gas. And then, Chair, as a result of the changes, what has also changed is the profit margin adjustment. This is as a direct function of the changes in the gas acquisition cost, given the cost plus methodology. So the price impact of this is a 4.5%.
Increase your voice, please, Mr. Njezula. Your voice, please, so that everybody can hear you.
Sorry, Chair. So the impact on the price, Chair, is that these changes has resulted in a revised gas price, which is 4.5% higher than the original proposed price. And then, Chair, just a quick, in terms of from a next steps perspective, Chair, what we have we request is that a consultation process, consultation period of 2 weeks, starting from the day of the approval, so that we can make the decision before the 30th of June. That's it, Chair, on our side, and I think the recommendations are as per number 14 on the submission. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much. Members, do you have any questions of clarity on the a submission by show of hands, starting with Madam Smear. You may go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you to the presenter. Chair, I think from my side, as the presenter mentioned, we dealt with this issue at the previous at the hearing, which was subsequently postponed due to additional information coming, which was not available for scrutiny by the public. But what I wanted to ask, because that information resulted in the increase, as he has mentioned, an additional 4.5%. And I saw here that now we are close, I think, to the 10%, which is 9.33. My question is, from our knowledge as the NESA team, has Sasol disclosed all the sources? Because any inclusion, especially of new sources, results in prices going up. So we need to make sure before we go out there, to our knowledge, obviously we trust that Sasol will disclose those sources, but based on our knowledge, have they disclosed everything? It's a completeness issue, Chair. The second issue is there is another source, the synthetic gas that they set to 0, and also the MRG as a reduction. So all of those issues, based on our knowledge, is that the true information that is happening out there? Because we don't want to repeat this whole process, so that when it goes out there to the public, it's what is according, although Sasol brings it to us, and based on our knowledge, the information is complete. That is where my issue, Chair, is when it comes to completeness of the information and the verification of completeness of this information by the team. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Madam Smear. Advocate Stole.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, my issue, I think, was touched a bit by Mr. Njezula, was the impact of the second publication based on the additional information. I think as indicated in paragraph 4.3, I think he also mentioned the issue of the new source of fuel gas as to how is this going to impact us in terms of the time frame required to really publish, have consider the comments, have a public hearing if there's a need to, and make a decision on this. Does it have an impact on the time frame that has been set for us to finalize this application and ensure that Sasol can implement the NESA decision by 1 July? Thanks, Chairperson.
Thank you, Advocate Sitole. May the team then respond to the questions from the members with regards to the information that is before us, the extent to which you verified this information, even the changes now on the various sources of gas, where there's now a reduction, in others there's an increase, and there are reasons that are given. Did you from your side verify so that we don't come across any other issues? But I think it is also the responsibility of the applicant to provide all the information and not withhold information, because they would have known any transaction that they've entered or concluded with regards to the supply of gas. But from NESA's side, you've got to do the verification. Can you please respond?
Thank you, Chair. I think, Chair, with regards to the sources of gas, what we understand on our side is that there is at the moment from the applicant side is that the information is very dynamic, given that on their side that they claim that the PPA gas they cannot at the moment properly forecast in its the production side, on the production side. However, the information that we have is for quarter one. And for quarter one, this is what the applicant will be charging, and that information is what we currently have. And the only issue that is outstanding is as we've said, is the contract for the fuel gas in terms of how is it sourced in terms of the terms there. However, when it comes to the adjustment mechanism, there are also other sources that have been included that hasn't been finalized in terms of from a commercial perspective. Now, they have said that they will, as soon as those are concluded, they will share with us. However, it does pose a little bit of a risk, given that we're not sure exactly at what price those will be concluded, actually. But however, for the first quarter, would the consumer would be paying would be charged by the licensee. So it's purely on the adjustment mechanism where that the issue is at. Then Chair, when it comes to I think
can we get another additional
Kotura.
can just hold on, Mr. Njezula, because you're not answering all of the question here. Because we want to be certain about this information. We do understand the responsibility from the applicant's side, and it is a situation that they are putting the regulator in, that they will bring this information in drip and pieces, and it is not proper, because surely they would know. They can't say that it is only 1/4 of the MRG, the methane rich gas, and then they don't know in the second quarter how things are gonna go. They've got the contracts with some of the customers, number one. Number two, if they were to increase the methane rich gas, they would know their plans in terms of increasing that. So they need to provide that information to the energy regulator. That's number one. So that's what Madam Spear is trying to ask here. So we need answers that show your own verification. So if you go to the PPA, with the PPA, you've got verification that you can undertake from the licensing side to undertake that verification with the Mozambicans, because when we asked them whether the gas has decreased significantly, even for the Mozambicans, they said it was only for them. So there are specific allocations. There's an allocation mechanism for that takes place with regards to the PPA gas. So what we need to do, your independent verification must be with the Mozambicans and find out exactly whether this gas has decreased and whether now it's accelerating and Sasol is not receiving much gas. And then the third thing is that Sasol has created another entity. Now, instead of this gas coming through the Sasol being licensed, it has created a sister company. Now, some of this gas goes to that sister company. So we need to check those things. Can we get a clarification here, please?
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, we had to work with licensing and compliance side on this one, because they are the ones that were able to verify to us the type of gas and also the source of this gas. From the verification that we have done with licensing, they indicated to us that in terms of the license conditions, there are two types of gas that has been licensed by NERSA, which is the MRG and the natural gas. And therefore, what needs to be done is to make sure that the composition of the gas that is included in this price application aligns with the license condition. And the second thing that licensing assisted us with was to check, using the volume balance information, the forecasted volumes there based on the actual that is really provided on a monthly basis, just to check whether the forecast is really is something that we can trust and work on. And then the other thing that the licensing colleagues advised us was that we need a plan from Sasol Gas, and that plan will then include the projection for the future supply, which then also include the geological challenges affecting the gas extraction and production. And also from our side, we also need to check other production-related risks that may affect the gas availability. So at this stage, we are saying we don't have the plan yet from Sasol Gas. It is something that we are still waiting for. And regarding the gas contracts that goes with the gas that is indicated on page 4, Chair, we have noted that Sasol Gas has not yet indicated the gas contracts, and this is the requirement from the methodology. And so on those basis, Chair, we are saying, although the application met the minimum requirements, there is additional information relating to the future gas supply and also the contracts that would then tell us or assist us in verifying the cost of gas acquisition. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Let me, before you go to Advocate Sitole's question, Madam Spear, are you happy with the response?
Chair, thank you very much. I think, yeah, it is very critical, the team, that we verify these things. Yes, there cannot be exact numbers, but I think when it comes to volumes, the issue of verification through agreements, etc., it is very important, although the numbers may not be exact come the time, because the issue that we must always know, as soon as you bring in a new source, the price goes up, because the new source comes in at a more expensive price. So it affects the price significantly. But thank you very much for the responses. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Spear. Team, the message here is that if these are the sources of gas that are considered by the regulator today, these shall be the sources of gas for the period of the maximum price. So for the period starting 1st July 2025 until June 2026, these shall be the only sources of gas that NERSA will consider for purposes of the price. The price will not be changed during the period of 1 year because of additional sources of gas, unless Sasol will have to apply to the energy regulator, bringing in new information, set of information regarding any other source of gas, and then NERSA will consider it only at that point. I think that is very clear. But the second thing that is coming out of this is that you need to get the contracts, which is important, but also the volume, the gas volume profile in terms of the plans, and also to do your verifications with the Mozambicans. You can do it with INP. You can do with also other structures in Mozambique to try and understand this decline, because with the methodology that we have, it also exposes the regulator to these kind of things where the price will suddenly go up, and therefore there's no efficiencies. The cost will suddenly go up so that the price is higher. Can you now go to the next question by Advocate Sitole, please? Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the impact of this second publication is that it will move the timeframes by 2 weeks. You will recall, Chairperson, at the public hearing that the stakeholders asked that this processing be extended by 2 weeks to allow the members of the public to have a sight on the new information that was forwarded to NERSA by Sasol Gas. And so our plans is that at least it will move the consultation by 2 weeks and still have the final decision from NERSA by the end of June, so that the applicant is able to implement the price by the 1st of July. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Advocate Sitole, are you happy with the response?
Chair, I note the response, but I have some concerns. I'll speak to the team offline. Thank you, Chairperson. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Mr. Gumal.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think for the benefit of members, I just wanted to indicate that on page 3, we've tried to provide sort of a timeline with regard to the processing of these applications. Perhaps that might also help, but I think as Advocate Stoll has indicated, the rest then we can finalize outside of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The issue here is to enhance the reason for the shortened period in terms of PAJA. I think section 4 of PAJA. Why are we doing it over 2 weeks and not do it over 30 days? That's what is needed. So she wants to make sure that we are covered in terms of taking this matter out there. It has been out there. Now there's just some additional information which necessitated us to go for the second round. So, and also there's an issue of the timelines for the implementation of this price. So those reasons that must be justified, or the factors prescribed in PAJA, must then be added here to enhance the reasons why you choose 2 weeks over 30 days. I think that's the essence of the period for the consultation. Does it cover you, Advocate Stole?
Chairperson, it does. Hence, I said I will engage the team offline. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Thanks.
Thank you very much, members. With the enhancements that have been raised, which will be done in the 2 weeks of the comments, that the team will make sure and even indicate to Sasol and the stakeholders that the sources of gas that are part of this application will be the only sources of gas that will be considered during the period of the period that runs from 1st July 2025 until 30 June 2026. That is the first thing. The second thing is that the team is also required to do other verifications with the government of Mozambique, as well as the other entities in Mozambique, with regards to the allocations that are coming for the South African allocations for gas in terms of clause 4 read with clause 3 of the regulatory agreement. So that is the second thing with regards to the PPA. So we need to check now the fact that in terms of that clause for gas coming to the South African market is now being reduced. Then check to what extent has it been reduced coming to the South African market in line with clause 4 of the regulatory agreement. Then the third thing is that you need to enhance the reasons or those 5 factors that are mentioned in PAJA, why you're going for 2 weeks as opposed to 30 days, as this is just the second round of the consultation, and it is in respect of the changes that were done. The fourth thing that you are required before we take the decision is that you must also insist on the contracts from Sasol Gas with respect to the other sources of gas, including the fuel gas as well as the PSA gas. With that, members, the Pipe Gas Subcommittee is requested to note the second and revised discussion document on Sasol Gas's application for the maximum price, and the analysis and that discussion document is attached as Annexure A. The second decision that is required is for the PGS to approve the publication of the revised discussion document for public comment, and the information that is confidential will be withheld, and that again is on Annexure A. By show of hands, members, if you agree with the decision, including the additional points. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Advocate Sithole. I also support. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Pugula. Thank you and welcome, Mr. Pugula. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Apologies for being late. I was struggling to connect.
Yes, we realize that. Thank you, Mr. Pugula. Apologies accepted. Thanks. Item number 6 is the final assessment of the Sasol Gas's transmission multi-year tariff application for the period 1st July 2025 until 30 June 2027. It is here for recommendation to the energy regulator for final approval.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Chair, members and colleagues. The purpose of the submission is to request the PGS to
We cannot hear you, Mr. Ngobeni.
Okay, Chair, I'll try and increase the volume. Thank you, Chair. The purpose of this submission is to request the energy regulator, to request the PGS to recommend to the energy regulator to approve Sasol Gas's application for a transmission tariff for the period 1 July 2025 to 30 June 2027, and for the publication of the reasons for decision. Chair, in Table 1, it provides a summary of Sasol Gas's tariff application. Column 3 and 4 provide the breakdown per tariff zone for the financial years 1 July 2025 to 30 June 2026 and 1 July 2026 to 30 June 2027. Table 2, Chair, and 3 provide an overview of the allowable revenue for FY26 and FY27. Chair, these two tables indicate that there is no difference between the allowable revenue calculation by Sasol Gas and NERSA. Chair, the approved CAM yielded the tariffs as reflected on Table 6 for FY26 and FY27 in Table 8. The zones have a variance of 1 and 10% as a result of the allowable revenue as reflected in Tables 2 and 3. Chair, the members requested additional information from Sasol Gas in the public hearing, which was provided. Members were concerned by the high tariff as reflected by the Zone 2. And based on the information provided, it has been indicated that the useful life, remaining useful life on Zone 2 a transmission pipeline is still 54 years. Based on the studied evaluation study undertaken by Sasol Gas, and that based on our audited information, the current contribution of maintenance costs to the tariff for SWM pipeline is 9%. Chair, the other concern was regarding the volumes that were transmitted on this pipeline, and Sasol has indicated that it is committed to continuously trying to develop the gas market around this pipeline. However, there are gas availability challenges which are constraining the development of volumes or the gas market around this pipeline. Hence, members will note that the tariff for SWM is higher than Zone 1 and Zone 3. Chair, on Table 9, it provides an analysis of the movement of Sasol Gas's tariffs. Members will note that for FY26, the tariffs are decreasing on average, and this is due to the clawback as a result of the over-recovery of Sasol Gas's tariffs for FY23 and 24. And the tariffs are increasing for FY26 due to the projected increase in the net working capital expenditure and decommissioning in FY27. Chair, the recommendations are on paragraph 14. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, members. Any questions from the members? As indicated in the public hearing, this is the pipeline that has had some issues with regards to in gas interruptions and a lot of issues that happened. I think about 3 incidents on this pipeline in terms of maintenance, and the tariff is quite high. The second thing that members may need to note here is that given the announcement made by Sasol, I think a month ago, that there may be an increase in the methane-rich gas, it is highly likely that then it will affect the volumes that are indicated here, and maybe then it will also reduce the tariff should the methane-rich gas be increased. Just those 2 things to note, members. Madam Svia?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you to the presenter. I think he highlighted and also answered some questions I had, but just one small one. Not that I'm against it. The Zone 3, there is a 10% reduction. I know that there is a statement here that says between 1 and 10 is allowable, but at 10%, it is a reduction, which is what we are not against. But I just wanted to confirm with the team is that is that not a cause for concern? Because it says also it's common practice that as NERSA we accept anything less than 10%. So this one, although it is a reduction, but it is 10%. I just wanted to confirm from the team to say, although it's Sasol's one is less, but are we not expecting any challenges in the future? I know that we can use the clawback, but just to confirm, because that's where I had issues with. But you answered also the zone 2 issue, why the tariff is also higher, because that is what also I had a question on. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Madam Spear. Any responses? Mr. Magoda? You're sorry, Ms. Magoda?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, according to the applicant, there is a customer that has reduced the volumes because they are in a business rescue. And as a result, it then affected most of the volume consumption. Chair, usually the volumes are in line with the customers that have been the customer's projection. And so most of the time, if there's a reduction, it then means then that some of the customers are either closed down or they have reduced the volumes. But on this particular case, we did ask and they indicated that there is a customer that is in business rescue that is mostly affecting that reduction. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Madam Spear, are you clarified on that question?
Chair, thank you. So it means then, Ms. Makota, then that client who is under business rescue was having a bigger impact, whose price was higher, because there is a volume issue and then there's a price issue. So now if it affects the price, it means that customer was having a higher tariff than those that are still remaining. Because when you are under business rescue, you do still continue with the operations, and because that is what makes the business to continue making money, because it's about the fact that you are not making money. So if you can go check that, Ms. Makota, that a customer, when they are under business rescue, they don't scale down, they actually scale up so that they can make money. But maybe they went to renegotiate the tariff with Sasol so that they are charged a lesser tariff so that they can make money. But I'm fine, Chair, with the response. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. Also, please note that in the decision that we have just taken on the maximum price, it does show on the sources of gas that for the methane-rich gas, there is an increase. And the increase there, it comes from this customer that could not take the volumes. So it may appear that that customer, it's a customer in the industry that, in the manufacturing industry. So that customer is taking larger volumes. So it seems those volumes are now taken to the market. So there may not necessarily be a substantial increase, but the volumes are now put to the market, if that can be considered as well. Members, before I go to the decision, just a correction. I think we just missed it. The correction on paragraph 6.1, that pipeline there, it doesn't just start in Witbank. It starts in Secunda, so it's the SWM, Secunda Witbank Middlebank pipeline. So that's a Sasol-owned pipeline. So with that, members, and the clarification that has been provided, and also the question that Madam Spear asked that still needs to be clarified further before the matter is considered by the energy regulator, the members of the committee are then requested to approve the recommendation, or to recommend to the energy regulator to approve the tariffs as maximum tariffs that exclude VAT, and that discounts are applicable, but they must be applied in terms of Section 22 of the Gas Act. And the table for the tariffs that must be approved is provided on Annex A of the decision itself, and it lists Zone 1, which is your Secunda to Sasolburg, Zone 2, Secunda Witbank Middleburg, and then Zone 3, it's Secunda to KwaZulu-Natal, with the numbers that are shown in each members. And also the date of this approval by the energy regulator shall be the effective date of these gas transmission tariffs, and that the licensee is required to apply for the next transmission tariffs at least 4 months before the expiry of the currently approved tariff transmission tariffs. By show of hands, members, if you agree with the decision for the recommendation to the regulator. Thank you, Advocate Stolle. Thank you, Mr. Pukula. Thank you, Madam Smear. I also support. Thank you very much, members. Members, we are now on item number 7 of the agenda. This is the preliminary assessment of Egoli Gas Pty Ltd's application for a maximum gas price. The period for this one is 1st March 2025 until 28 February 2026. Please take the matter as having been read.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the purpose of this submission is to request the PGS to note the discussion document on Egoli Gas's application for a maximum gas price for the period 1 March 2025 to 28 February 2026. Chair, just as a slight correction in terms of the table numbers on page 5, the table 4 that reads average EBITDA is supposed to be table 5 instead of table 4 on page 5. And then on page 6, the table that reads trading, Egoli Gas and NESA cost comparison, it's supposed to be table 6 instead of table 7. That's a slight correction, Chair. Thank you, Chair. The energy regulator received Egoli Gas's application on the 8th of April 2025. Table 1 indicates that Egoli Gas is applying for a maximum price of gas of 151 Rand and 14 cents per gigajoule for end user customers, and table 2 indicates that the maximum gas price of 143 Rand and 58 cents per gigajoule for resellers. And this price, Chair, will be adjusted quarterly in alignment with the acquisition cost of gas. Okay, and then Chair, NESA's assessment of Egoli Gas's application it is indicated in table 3, and it shows a difference between Egoli Gas's and NESA's assessment of 4.994% for end user customers and 4.93% for resellers. The difference the difference is as a result of the trading cost and profit component. The difference in the profit component, Chair, is as a result of the benchmark, EBITDA benchmark that is calculated. NESA used its source, the prescribed source as per the tariff, as per the methodology, the cost plus methodology, which is the Bloomberg terminal, and Egoli Gas used the EBITDA from S&P IQ database as at 28 February 2025. And the second difference, Chair, is in the trading costs, and the trading cost differences can be attributable to the WACC and the tax calculation. Egoli Gas calculated its tax using the statement of comprehensive income taxable amount, whilst NEXA recalculated the tax expense using the flow-through tax methodology. Chair, the WACC as well is the difference has been also attributable to the difference in the beta calculation, and that is also based on the sources of information that was used. Chair, the overall difference between Egoli Gas and NESA's calculation results in a difference of 4.94% and for end user customers and 4.93% for resellers, which is less than 10% and then can be considered acceptable. Chair, the recommendations are on paragraph 14. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Ngobeni. Members, any questions by show of hands, if you have any? Okay, if there are no questions, members, I would like to then take you to the decision that is sought. The decision that is requested from the committee is that the PGS is requested to note the discussion document on Egoli Gas's application for the maximum gas price for the period 1 March 2025 to 28 February 2026. And then secondly, the PGS is requested to approve the publication of the discussion document on Egoli Gas's application for public comment for 30 days. By show of hands, members, if you are in support of the decision. Thank you, Madam Smear. I also support from my side. Thank you, Mr. Pukula. Advocate Stolle, are you happy to support? Thank you very much, Advocate Stolle. The matter is approved. for publication. The next item on the agenda is the application by Evras High-Felt Steel and Vanadium for the maximum price of gas for the period July 2024 up until 31st December 2025. If you can also just clarify the issue of the dates for the members. I know even on the other one, there are issues where the applicants or the licenses tend to apply late. If you can also deal with that, Ms. Makoda. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. I'll be taking the members through the submission. Chair, the purpose of this submission is to request PGS to recommend to the energy regulator to approve Everest's maximum price from 1st July until 31st December 2025. And also, Chair, the reasons for decisions are there too, as in Annexure A. Now, Chair, with regards to the delegation matrix, that's why the submission is before this committee. It's per section 2.5 of the delegation matrix. Chair, initially the submission was received in the 22nd of Jan by the applicant, and subsequently there were changes in the application, and the revised submission was sent in Feb. And then, Chair, with regards to the publication, the submission was published between the dates of 31st of March to the 28th of April, and there were no public comments, and hence there was no public hearing for this licensee, Chair. Just one correction, Chair. On page 3 of the submission itself, table 2, in page 4, table 2 is supposed to be table 3, Chair. So what the applicant is applying for is it's in table 1. That's the maximum price to all customers, and then they've got a reseller price, maximum price, which is in table 2. And then, Chair, with regards then to the late submission, what the licensee has relayed to us is that there's a number of issues. This was due to internal challenges within the licensee's organization. As you know, Chair, that the licensee is under business rescue. What has subsequently happened, the organization has underwent management changes, and also with that, there were changes in terms of resignations to internal staff, and there were internal communication issues that transpired as a result. And then somehow the submission was delayed as a result, Chair. We have spoken to the applicant with regards to that, Chair, and we initially considered a notice of non-compliant. However, as also when we also spoke to the licensee, during our engagements, we also decided that with regards to use also the Gas Act, where it requires us to also engage with the licensee in terms of understanding the reasons behind the delay, and also issue a letter with regards to the in terms of on our side from the in regards to preliminary findings to that sort. Now, Chair, when it comes to the analysis itself, what has the difference between NERSA's calculations and the licensee was a difference of 1.9%, driven mainly by the trading cost component and also from a profit component perspective. And this is in table 3 or table in it's table 2, but which is it's actually table 3. And in conclusion, Chair, we given that the difference is below the 10%, we accept the maximum price as applied by the applicant. And the recommendations are as in number 14. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Njezula. Members, any questions of clarity from your side? I've just asked Mr. Chokwe to check if the delegated authority has been captured accurately under paragraph 3.1. Because gas price applications don't serve at the REC. They've never served at the REC. And it will also not make sense that it once goes to one committee for noting, and then it comes to the relevant committee, which must recommend to the energy regulator. So I just asked Mr. Chokwe to assist us there. But members, any questions or clarification on this matter? Mr. Chokwe, did you manage to check the delegated authority before the matter goes to the ER?
Chairperson, good morning, thanks. Yes, I did. I think that noting under REC is misplaced, Chairperson. It has to be recommended by PGS to ER. REC doesn't feature, thanks.
All right, thank you very much. So that will be the change then when the matter goes to the ER for the final decision. I have not seen any hand from the members. Members must just note that the team has also considered Section 26 in terms of the ensuring that there's some enforcement action that will be taken from our side for those that are not complying. However, they subsequently then applied. So they've remedied the non-compliance as anticipated or contemplated in Section 26. With that, members, I would like to take you to paragraph 14. It is recommended that the PGS subcommittee recommends to the energy regulator to approve Evra's Highveld Steel and Vanadium Pty Ltd's maximum gas price as calculated in Table 3. The period is from July 2024 to 31st December 2025. Table 3 shows all of the components that make up that maximum price. Members, the maximum price, the applicant is allowed to grant discounts, and that once the energy regulator approves this price, the date of approval shall be the effective date of the maximum gas price, and that the licensee will be required to apply 4 months before the expiry of the currently approved price. By show of hands, members, if you support the decision as well as the other elements of the decision. Thank you, Madam Spear. Thank you, Advocate Sitole. Thank you, Mr. Pukula. Thank you. I also support. Thank you, members. Sorry about my voice. I've got a touch of cold. Thank you, members, for your time. This is the last item to discuss in the open meeting, and I would like to thank the members of the public who have tuned in to follow our proceedings in today's meeting. The meeting is now closed for the members of